Did you see what's going on? Obviously, you've seen what's going on in California. But the governor gave this creepy fucking speech where he was talking about speculators coming in and talking about what to do with the land of all these homes that have been burnt down while it's still only 6% contained. And he did this little dance like, I've been talking with these, with the governor of Hawaii about what to do. We got some ideas. A speculator, we're gonna have some meetings. Like, he's
really?
Oh.
California Governor Gavin Newsom is now calling his city's homeless encampments unacceptable, which is odd since he's the guy who, made them acceptable, turning sidewalks into red carpet events for drug addicts, thieves, and unemployed CNN anchors. On Monday, he urged cities to ban the camps from sidewalks, parks, and other public areas. So after years of denying the problem, he's now pretending to fix it, which is like putting on a condom as you're leaving a whorehouse. Who hasn't?
It opened with confidence, but that confidence faded fast. Amid the noise and pressure, Gavin Newsom appeared momentarily disoriented, unsure which camera had him framed, and viewers noticed. Joe Rogan came in relentlessly, stacking point after point, while Greg Gutfeld followed with jokes sharp enough to cut through the tension. What unfolded wasn't ordinary pushback. It was a gradual unraveling that stripped away polish piece by piece. Even Newsom's carefully crafted image couldn't escape unscathed. So settle in, because this wasn't a typical exchange. It turned into a live, on-air breakdown.
Nobody wants President Newsom either. Nobody believes in that guy. That guy's a fucking con man. Everything he did in California, from trying to mandate vaccines for kids to being caught public without a mask and lying about the fact that he was outdoors.
Yeah.
Nobody believes in that guy. He's just a politician. Just a stone-cold, narrative-driven politician. Nobody thinks he's a real human. Whether you like Trump or not, whether you think he's corrupt or not, that's a human being. You know what that guy is. Same thing with RFK Jr. Whether you believe that he's correct about vaccines or whether you believe his policies would be effective, and that's a human being. With Newsom, you've got like this construct, this cardboard cutout of a person. I don't think people want that, but they might want it more than they want.
The camera tightened on Newsom, almost theatrically, as he stood frozen at the podium, projecting the self-assurance of someone used to commanding attention. Then the tone shifted. Rogan and Gutfeld zeroed in, and the conversation stopped feeling like dialogue. It became a public dismantling. Smooth suits met sharper commentary. This wasn't a debate of equals. It was a direct collision with Newsom's curated political persona, and the impact was unmistakable.
Kennedy, I think the answer is yes, 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 yes.
Was it because of Israel? Yes. Interest rates? Yes. Too woke? Yes. It's like every bad policy that trickled up to the White House during the Biden administration started in California. That state is responsible for the worst politicians in modern history. And he is at the top of the list, and there are some ignoramuses on that list.
Newsom carries himself like every entrance is a campaign commercial. He's mastered the familiar political formula: the flawless smile, the polished phrases, the rehearsed confidence. As a leading figure in progressive politics, he's known for climate talking points and aspirational language that sounds inspiring on cue. But when the shine wears off, critics argue what remains feels more like presentation than progress. A lot of polish, plenty of ego, and far more performance than tangible results.
Their houses have been burned, all their childhood memorabilia, all the stuff for their kids, the photos, the fucking everything they have. Everything they have is gone. All heirlooms, their mother's wedding ring, that kind of shit. Everything's burnt to the ground. And this guy's like standing in front of all this stuff, and he's got a smile on his face, and he's talking about land use.
The development plan.
Take his environmental messaging. The promises are abundant, ambitious enough to fill entire grocery aisles with green labels. Yet California's power system struggles under routine strain. Residents are encouraged to switch to electric alternatives, then warned not to use them during peak hours. Gas appliances are restricted while rolling outages remain common. To critics, the contradiction is hard to ignore. It starts to feel less like policy and more like pageantry. big ideas colliding with inconvenient realities.
And he's the guy who thinks he's going to run for president when, so much of the state is absolutely unlivable. And so every project that he's championed, he's now trying to demonize conveniently. And people are not that dumb. Like, people have been through it in his state. They are sick of him. They want him to leave. And maybe that's why so many people around him are like, you should totally run for president. So he gets out of the state.
Yes. Move away.
Joe Rogan eventually reached a breaking point with the state. What once looked like opportunity began to feel unmanageable. Even someone known for embracing challenges decided it was time to leave. Rogan packed up, relocated, and didn't do it quietly. He brought his massive platform with him. The Joe Rogan Experience isn't just a podcast. It's a global media force. His appeal lies in open conversation and skepticism toward official narratives. And few things fueled that skepticism more than California's lockdown approach. When high-profile rules clashed with high-profile exceptions, Rogan called it out, and the contrast became impossible to ignore.
Down in Hawaii, you had some ideas around some land use concerns he has around speculators coming in, buying up properties, and the like. So we're already working with our legal teams to move those things forward, and we'll be presenting those in a matter of days, not just weeks.
With a big smile on his face. Look at the little wiggle he does with his shoulders. Speculator, watch this. Talking to John. Look at this little wiggle. It's excited about the possibilities of speculators coming in. And he's saying, we're move forward. We're going to move forward on that. These people lost their homes. A lot of those people don't even have fire insurance because the fire insurance pulled out of California. I think 69% of fire insurance pulled out of California because they're like, this is too crazy. Like, you guys aren't doing jack shit to manage this. You're not clearing the...
Rogan wasn't alone in raising concerns. He featured experts from multiple fields, medicine, economics, and beyond, many of whom questioned the consistency of California's policies. Small businesses struggled while large corporations weathered the storm. Regulations felt unpredictable. Through it all, Newsom maintained his composed image, seemingly confident that messaging could outweigh frustration. Then came the business departures and the migration of tech and talent. Rogan didn't just talk about the shift, he embodied it. His move became a statement more powerful than any statistic.
So, while Californians have lost their homes and they're still suffering from the devastation, what does Gavin Newsom decide to do? Well, now is apparently the perfect time to try and boost his popularity and essentially promote himself. He's launched a podcast. I'll play you the trailer in just a moment, but take notice. Does the trailer that he shared with the world on X, does it even mention the most horrific fire catastrophe that occurred under his leadership, partly as a result of the decisions he was making, like cutting fire prevention? No, this is his chance to talk about his image, insisting that he's no ordinary politician.
Rogan didn't need theatrics. He simply stated what many felt. The system wasn't working. Then Greg Gutfeld stepped in, approaching the issue from a different angle. His style wasn't loud, but precise. Every joke landed with intent. He contrasted Newsom's polished appearance with outcomes that felt far less refined. Behind the well-lit speeches were visible struggles, homelessness, closed storefronts, and communities under pressure. Gutfeld framed it as a cityscape where wellness branding coexisted with deep dysfunction, and the contrast resonated.
Anything? I think there's about 100 other reasons too.
Well, it's not his words when he speaks.
Yeah.
You have to watch him closely. And some genius decided not to film him any lower than the shoulder.
Yes, did you? Yes.
So what did he do?
You couldn't see the hands.
No, but he sent Morse code.
Yes.
Go back and watch it. Look at the blinking. Blink, look. Meet me at the house. Like, he's blinking. He's sending, I'm getting there. Hey, just so you know, I'm not wearing pants.
Gutfeld pushed further, shifting focus to the media's glowing portrayal of Newsom. Major outlets often present him as a visionary figure, highlighting ambition while downplaying consequences. Gutfeld's monologues challenged that narrative, pointing out the disconnect between praise and lived experience. Rising costs, energy concerns, and affordability dominated daily life, yet coverage often celebrated symbolism over substance. His climate-focused satire questioned who ultimately pays for ambitious programs, especially when infrastructure lags behind rhetoric. To critics, it felt less like environmental leadership and more like optics-driven governance.
When Gavin Newsom talks about California, he's like, I'm very big on California, very bullish on California. Hey, they're all moving. The only reason why they don't move is because it's too difficult to move. It's too expensive to leave versus all the bullshit with all the permits and all that. It's too expensive. Believe that he's correct about vaccines or whether you believe his policies would be effective. And that's a human being. With Newsom, you got like this construct, this cardboard cutout of a person. I don't think people want that, but they might want it more than they want president.
Then came speculation about national ambitions. Talk of a future presidential run surfaced, and Gutfeld didn't hesitate to address it. He questioned whether success at a national level was realistic given unresolved issues at home. His comparisons were sharp but illustrative, suggesting that expansion without stability rarely works. Paired with Rogan's factual critiques, the commentary became a 1-2 punch. Rogan brought evidence. Gutfeld delivered wit. Together, they challenged the narrative of effective leadership.
Runs for national office, he acts like a Republican. This is where the left is really pro-trans. Suddenly, they grow balls.
Rogan kept his tone measured. He didn't raise his voice or dramatize his point. He simply laid out observable trends. Population shifts, business closures, growing homelessness. His personal decision to leave carried weight because it was rooted in experience. Gutfeld followed with humor, translating frustration into satire. Where Rogan appealed to analysis, Gutfeld appealed to instinct. One spoke to those seeking data, the other to those weary of slogans. Different approaches, same conclusion.
California Governor Gavin Newsom has been facing major calls to resign over his appalling handling of the deadly California wildfires. And just to quickly recap, these were the most destructive wildfires the state has ever seen. More than 16,000 properties were destroyed. The cost of the fires is estimated to be more than $200 billion. And for businesses in LA County, the future is looking grim. It's projected businesses will continue to lose billions of dollars over the next 5 years due to
Despite their contrasting styles, both landed on a shared assessment. In their view, Newsom prioritized presentation over results. The image was strong, but outcomes lagged. Like a preview promising excellence but delivering confusion, the disconnect became harder to ignore. Approaching the issue from separate angles, Rogan and Gutfeld stripped away the gloss and exposed what they believed was a pattern of style eclipsing substance. For many viewers, the critique felt less like commentary and more like a wake-up call.
When I went there, I had a great relationship with President Xi. We got along very well. And they treated me better than anybody's ever been treated. And I said, this air is good. Do you know they closed every factory 1 week before I got there from within 200 miles?
That's like what Gavin Newsom did when Xi Jinping came to San Francisco.
He cleaned it up.
He cleaned it up. He got rid of all the homeless people.
Isn't that terrible in a way to think, he cleaned it up and then it became a pigsty.
Well, the dumbest thing is he said when your friends come by, when you have visitors, you clean up your house. Like, how about just keep your fucking house clean?
Can you imagine?
It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I keep bringing up Gavin. Well, other than my respect for his work in American Psycho, he's starting to distance himself from his party's worst ideas. Newsom, a guy who hates fossil fuels but could still bring down the price of gas by wringing out his hair, once proclaimed that his state would be a sanctuary to all who...
That's when it clicked for a broad audience across political lines. People who rarely agree found common ground in their frustration with constant performance. The final moments of the exchange weren't about winning an argument. They were about revealing a pattern. Newsom wasn't just criticized. His approach was dissected. Filters, branding, and symbolism were left exposed. Rogan could easily revisit the topic in future episodes. Gutfeld could turn it into recurring satire. And Newsom? He's unlikely to slow down, continuing to project vision through carefully framed moments. For critics, that's the core issue. It was never about transformation. It was always about the show.